Now, when you think of Big Brother and you now look at reality TV shows, there are so many screwed up people because they're picked up and spat out, and they don't get the help. They get a little bit of help. You were from the early days. I think it's disgraceful what goes on now. And they are so up their own backsides. They've had 1 hour on television and they think they're stars. And unfortunately, telly is watered down. What they don't understand is when you were on Big Brother, that was the world talking about it. Now all the TVs are watered down to what you have. So you were, very clever in that. So that's why they had to look after you. Do you miss the fame? You've got fame now, but do you miss that intense fame?
No, not at all. That when it first come out was quite terrifying, quite intimidating to a degree. Yes, we had some great times and fun, but it got overpowering. It got quite exhausting. One, because you know yourself, Peter, people, if you're a chattable person, easy approach like you and I are, people can drain your energy if you're not careful. And I was busy doing my building side of things, doing my property side of things, trying to maintain and build a media career, racing around the country, staying in hundreds of hotels, doing makeover shows. So I was exhausted. And you would drive, changing hotel every night. You would drive to service stations 4 hours. That way you get stopped. More and more people around you, and it was nice, it was flattering. But after 6 months, after 12 months, it became exhausting. And what I found was, if I didn't cut the conversation, they wouldn't. They would just take.
Am I right in assuming that it was 2001, was it?
2000, first one.
2000, right. Am I right in assuming that social media wasn't that big?
Could
you imagine? So it wasn't
22
there at
years
all?
ago. No, it wasn't there at all. I think
so
YouTube
could you imagine now
what
if it was the first ever Big Brother? If you were destroyed then because of that, could you imagine now?
That's right, and if you put things into perspective, I started social media now quite late, so we've got tens of thousands of followers, not millions of followers like you do when you're on the Love Island, them type of things they come out with. But on that last night of Big Brother, this got me in the Guinness Book of World Records. I got 3.7 million phone call votes on the last night of Big Brother, and it cost everyone 25 pence to vote. I had dinner with Cherie Booth opened my construction academy, and she said to me, you had more votes throughout the duration of Big Brother than the last general election. Bearing in mind, Tony Blair was in power at that point, your husband. And she said you had more votes. So if you kind of think that last night of Big Brother, if someone picked up the phone and dialed and spent 25 pence wanting me to win a particular programme, they would have followed me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all the usual things, but none of them were there at all.
In the early days, before you went in Big Brother, when you were ready to go, did you have any idea it was going to be this big?
Absolutely not. Hand on heart. And then what I can honestly say, Peter, as well, is I never ever wanted the fame or to work on TV. Don't get me wrong, I've worked hard at it to maintain it.
So you didn't want the fame?
I did not want the fame at all.
So why did you go in?
I was going in the right direction with my building company and I was enjoying what I was doing. I still love doing building now. But I was helping a young lady, Joanne Harris. She was the Down syndrome girl from Shropshire.
So you went on for the money?
I went on for the money to help her, yeah. We'd been trying to take her to America for a heart and lung transplant. They wouldn't operate in the UK here on the NHS, sadly. And we needed £250,000 and we did all the usual stunts trying to save the money and we were getting nowhere. As the months went by, we were saving a few thousand here and there, price of the operation was going up. So I thought I've got to do something dramatic. And then I seen a documentary in Holland about Big Brother and it was saying that this programme could be coming to England and if it's successful it'll go worldwide and they'll be looking for 10 candidates who will live together, have no connections and will be put in a purposely built house. So I thought, I could do that. That's easy. I generally thought, that is easy. I was wrong, obviously. So I wrote off to the production company, sent this letter, and I forgot about it. I didn't even have emails in them days. Handwritten letter sent off. And I was up on a roof doing some lead flashing around a chimney breast. And phones were this big, at that point, as you do, yeah. And a phone rings me and it's a lady, a producer says, oh, hi, Craig, this is so-and-so from Endemol Productions. Basil Productions, I think it was. Basil, part of Endemol. Blah, blah, Big Brother. And I was like, what? I don't know what. And I generally didn't know what she was talking about. I forgot it was 6 months prior. Yeah. And she said, you sent a letter in saying, consider me as an applicant in the show. And we know, yeah, I did, yeah, okay. So it kind of went on from there, really. But going back to when it finally was the build-up to going in the programme, I generally thought, if I get on, I probably won't win. But if I get a little bit of publicity and get a bit more money for Joanne, that might create a bit of a snowball. So that was the logic behind it. And I generally thought, if I go in the show, whether I come out after 2 weeks or 9 weeks, be straight back on the building site Monday morning, and hopefully a newspaper or a magazine will want to talk to me.
Short as that.
Little did I know, I would be on, and one thing that haunts me, stuck in my mind, talking about Brett Carr, that psychoanalyzer. When I come out of the Big Brother house, my nurse Stephen Maddock was one of the ones who came to the hotel room with me. Brett Carr said to me, sat me down, and it was mayhem. Took out of the house, couldn't get to see me family and friends. It was just an explosion, terrifying. Bodyguards whooped me into there, police escort, taken away. I felt like I was being kidnapped. No one around me.
Plus you'd live with those people.
Yeah.
Plus you'd live with those people and they've been taken off you.
Yeah. And all of a sudden I raced away, took to this big hotel, all these people there. And Brett Carr's words were to me. He said, Craig, you will be on the front page of every national newspaper tomorrow. You'll be on every radio bulletin. You'll be on every television news. You'll be the most talked about person in Britain. I get goose pimples on my arms because how do you take that? Yeah. You know, someone who didn't want to be famous, went on a show. I sat on the couch every night in Big Brother thinking, how on earth can you make a TV show out of this? This is a load of crap. I generally thought it's nonsense. Little, did I know about production in them days?
How long did it take you to forget the cameras? Or did you never forget the cameras?
No, I've seen other people being interviewed and they've said, oh, you just forget about the cameras. They've got a bit pissed up and they've done something stupid. Well, a lot of them have done something stupid in there. I'm sorry, you don't forget about the cameras. You can visually see them. You can hear them. There's cameramen behind a big one-way mirror. They're coughing, they're spluttering, they're pulling cables, they're, dropping stuff. It's there. You don't forget that they're there. I want to ask you, you mentioned earlier about you were asked to go on Big Brother and you wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Would you have done it in the early days?
No.
Not in the very first show?
No, seriously. It's the one show I could... Nothing like that I could do.
Okay.
I think I'd be claustrophobic in the room. No, I genuinely... Because people say, you wouldn't turn it down. I did, They asked me... no, they didn't ask me. I was lying then. They hinted at me going in the jungle.
Oh, right.
No way on this earth would you get me in a jungle with snakes, and I had the most dreadful experience in Belize in Central America for the army, and that put me off. I can't even watch the jungle. Can't watch it.
No, it's put you off. So what happened in Belize?
I've worked for the army for many years.
Is that BFBS?
Say again?
BFBS, British Forces Broadcasting
Services? Yes. No. I forgot what it's called. No, the entertainment side as a comic, not for... So as a comic. So I'd go out with shows. I went to the Falklands just after the war, which is another story.
Well, not just after the war, but
But you know what it's like, sensational. I'll never forget that. But Belize, a long story, very short, which is what I say all the time, by the way, long story, very short. Picture this. So I'm with 3 girls, dancing girls. I'm with a ventriloquist who has a monkey. So he makes the monkey talk. Now,
is this TV friendly?
No. The locals in Belize wanted to kill the monkey because they've never seen a talking monkey. It was the scariest time of my life.
Shit.
So we go into the jungle, into Salamanca. So we're in the jungle. They've cleared a space. They've got 2 tanks with the lights on, so they're the lights. We've got the Scots Guards and we've got the Gurkhas, who I fell in love with the Gurkhas. What a lovely group of people. I loved them. So there we are. We've got the guy with the Leslie, which is the organ, and he's playing the organ. I am the compere. The girls are ready. We've got the ventriloquist, got a singer. That's it. As I'm working, I had long hair at the time. As I'm working, well, no, it's important that. As I'm working... something flies at me, and it's a bat, and the bat gets stuck in my hair, and I am hysterical, beyond, you couldn't make up what I was doing, and the soldiers thought it was the funniest thing they ever thought. What I didn't know was that the organist was frozen frozen like that, because there was a tarantula on his organ, and the bat was after the tarantula. So I've got the bat in my hair, he's got the tarantula on the organ. I am in a terrible state. Eventually, they get me off the stage, and I'm in, I can't tell you the state of it, and everyone thinks it's hysterical.
Yeah, they
Show
loved it,
carries on. Blah, blah, blah. I'm now in a missing hut, being calmed down, a huge missing hut, and all I can hear is, I said, what's that? Rats. Rats? There's hundreds, bigger than cats. So eventually they took me back to Belize City, which is the arsehole of the world.
Is it? I've never been.
Dogs of War was made there,
Yes,
and that was the capital. So I'm calming down. I decide to have a shave, and the plug gets lifted up by this beetle inside. Well, I'm in a dreadful state. They then said, you need some R&R. So they sent me to an island. Now I can ski. I was going to say skate then. Ski.
Yeah.
So I'm skiing behind a boat, a gunboat.
Water skiing, not snow skiing. Yeah.
And I'm saying, you're going too fast. Slow down fast. And they went, behind. And there was a shoal of barracuda. I was running on the ski past the boat. I came home. That was and that's a very short version of it.
And you've not been back since, I take it.
Yeah, and I ain't going in the jungle.
I'll cross it off my holiday list.